Welcome to Slow News Day with Kevin Clark. I am Kevin Clark.
Yeah.
All right, Peter King, Football Morning in America, NBC, one of the greatest football journalists or sports journalists of all time. He is now recording. He used to record in what he called a dungeon in his New York City apartment. He's now in the common room, and it looks like an Architectural Digest ad here, Peter King.
Thank you very much, Kevin. You know, I just wanted to make you happy because you're groovy and you're a New York hipster. Sure. And so I just wanted to make sure that my space was up to your specifications.
I'm glad, because I think most guests who come on this show their number one thing should be to make me happy. That's it.
Exactly.
And there's a bar.
And unfortunately, there have been too many times that I've been on with you that I've made you sad.
That's 100% true. And I listen, I let you know about it. I just go full, just go crazy. I just go crazy. In the post game, in the locker room, I said, just not good enough. We didn't exceed the standard. All right. I'm excited to talk to you because 2 years ago you came on this show and you were one of the best guests ever because you set a bar. You said, I'm going to be one of the best guests ever. You're going to have the strongest opinions of all time. And then you cleared it. There are a couple people who, when I book them and I send the text to the producers and I say, we got this guy, there's a couple people where everyone just lights up because they know what kind of guest that person is. You were one of them. So I'm excited about this. And I want to start here. You led your column on Monday with the Patriots Raiders lateral play. Talk to Chandler Jones about it. What if I'm just sitting back and watching it? Should I be thinking about Bill Belichick's coaching job, all things considered this year? Because I think you and I have the utmost respect for the tenure in New England that he's had and what he's built, and just whether that's either just, the roster management, but on the defense, like he's done so many amazing things. This, to me, felt like a symptom of something greater with this season and a sloppiness that is uncharacteristic of Bill Belichick and the Patriots, Peter.
You know, Kevin, I think that's a question really that Robert Kraft is probably asking right now, too. How do you think Robert Kraft feels about post-Tom Brady that this team is now under 500? And this year, Bill Belichick decided to, in my opinion, it smacks of hubris, decided to say, I'm going to let two special teams / defensive guys, Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, coach my offense. And honestly, I think if I'm Robert Kraft, I'm not real happy about that. So that's number one. And number two, here's the weird part of that story. Jacoby Myers, far and away, is one of the most trusted, bright guys on that football team. That was just jaw-dropping. First of all, the whole sequence. And I've got to think, honestly, Jacoby Myers never had any intent I don't think left to his own devices, he would have done that. But once Ramondre Stevenson, lateraled it to him, he said, wow, active play. Maybe there's something I didn't hear. Who knows? But whatever it was just foolish, obviously. And there's a chance it could cost the Patriots the playoffs, whereas there's so many teams in the AFC right now that are really so close that that will have a major bearing on whether they make the playoffs, or not.
What do you think the Patriots can do after this year? I guess hiring an offensive coach is a good start.
I think what's going to be interesting, Kevin, what happens if Robert Kraft goes to him and says, Bill, with all due respect, I want you to hire, Clint Kubiak or I don't even know, but I want you to hire somebody, who's going to be, who's an offensive mind,
Yeah.
I don't know what Bill would say. I have a feeling Bill would say, you stick to your own side of the building. Or what I don't know what he'll say, but what do I think they'll do? They're not going to be in tremendous cap shape, even though they're not paying a quarterback because they're not paying Mac Jones yet. But, I think the free agency, the free agency period of last year really hurt the Patriots. Because, let's face it, Kevin, they went all in for Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. And those guys basically have the production of, an undrafted free agent from Central Missouri. I mean, they have not been anywhere near what the Patriots had hoped. They thought that, I'm not saying they thought it was going to be Gronk and Aaron Hernandez revisited, but they certainly thought it was going to be better than what it has been.
Wow. Let's flip to the former quarterback there, Tom Brady, because this was not a good game on Sunday. And it was funny because Tom Brady was asked on his own podcast the other day, why do you keep playing? And I think his answer was kind of, I'm still learning. I like it. I kind of, I like what the sport is still teaching me. He's free to sign with anybody after this season. He's in his mid 40s. Like, what are the next steps for Tom Brady? What do you think? Tom Brady far better than I do. I've actually never really hung out with him at all. But do you think he'd be happy in TV? Do you think he's going to play until the wheels fall off? What happens here when he's in a situation that looks pretty miserable right now? And I wonder if he's even happy he's going to have to play a playoff game at this rate.
I keep wondering, honestly, who right now is going to sign Tom Brady? Forget the money, because I don't think Brady cares at all about the money. So I just want to know, like, who sits there and says, I want to cast my lot next year with Tom Brady. And I don't mean this in an obnoxious way. There might be 5 teams that do, but name them. I wonder, now that you've seen what Brock Purdy can do, it would have been easy a month ago to say, okay, Garoppolo's going. We got Trey Lance, but we'd love to have Brady here for 1 year, maybe 2. But I don't know why in the world Kyle Shanahan would do that now. It just muddy the waters. I mean, and there are other teams, Carolina, all that. But to me, the only way Tom Brady would play, in my opinion, is if he thought he had a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl. And I just don't believe that there are going to be many teams out there right now that give him that opportunity. And look, there are some teams that would be interesting. Like, what about Indianapolis, for instance? Mm-hmm. The Colts had a chance, okay, the year that he went to Tampa. Mm-hmm. After the 2019 season, Colts had a chance. Colts said no. So now the question is, with a more desperate Colts team, would Chris Ballard and Jim Irsay say all is forgiven for Josh McDaniels and Deflategate and welcome in Tom Brady for a year? I don't know. I truly don't know. I don't know. And I don't even know if Brady is going to want to play or, whether he's going to go to Fox. Now, you mentioned the Fox thing. Look, a lot of people have said they don't think Brady's going to be very good on TV. That's possible. But I'll tell you this. Can you imagine Tom Brady entering into any public venture and either mailing it in or just being very nice and all that? He's going to do what it takes to succeed. At least that's what I think. And so I happen to think Brady is going to shed his 90% of what I say is BS, whatever that quote was he said a year or so ago. When I talk in press conferences, I don't really say what I think.
Yeah.
I think he's not going to have that choice. And Kevin, I've been in TV. I've been on the periphery of TV. I've been in some of the discussions, and I've heard very famous players talk in production meetings and all that. And many times, it's clear there are things they don't want to say and they won't say. I have a feeling that Brady is probably going to make some enemies because Brady is going to know that the only way you succeed is when you see something, you say exactly what you think about that. So I think he'll be better than people think.
I agree. Two things about it. Number one, I know people who have watched games with Tom Brady, Monday Night Football or a wild card game before they play or whatever, who say that watching a game with Tom Brady is like a generational experience, but then B, he slanders people. He gets after it. And he says, this linebacker can't play. This cornerback can't play. Or like, oh, I'd love to go against that kind of defensive coverage because I do that. If he even brings 5% of that, you're talking about like a transcendent broadcast. The other thing I would say is kind of what you said. If he goes in and for 3 weeks he's bad and Andrew Marchand and John Oran are saying this isn't going well, he's going to fix it. He's going to fix it and he's going to get better at it and say, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. He's not going to publicly flop. And if everybody, Joe Montana had that year where he wasn't very good, like Tom Brady's not going to sit there and say, I'm just going to draw out the string. I've got 9 more years left in my contract. I think he's just going to go in and say, how do I become a really freaking good broadcaster? Your dog has been in the shot here. Can you tell me about your dog?
Chuck? Hey, Chuck, are you here? Yeah, Chuck is... we call him a fold-in retriever. He's folding because he's only about 70% golden retriever. Where did he go? Okay. Chuck? Yeah. Hold on a second. Chuck, come here.
Bring him on in.
Sit, please. Sit. Hey, he's not going to sit, but anyway. Whoa, there he is. Hold on a minute, Kevin.
Okay.
Here. Chuck. Here's Chuck.
Hey, Chuck?
Yeah, Chuck.
Fold-in receiver Chuck.
He's a fold-in.
Hi, Chuck.
Yeah, so... we got him from the Maryland SPCA about 7 years ago. He's a little over 7 now. He's a good dog. He just doesn't like people or other dogs. Other than that, he's fine.